Welcome back. Hope you're having a good morning. We have listed down all the top stocks that you should track. Let's get some further fundamental analysis going. We have Amnish Aggarwal, Head of Research at Prabhudas Lilladher, who joins us. Hi, Amnish. Thanks a lot for joining in. Well, the top two gainers yesterday were the Bajaj twins, Bajaj Finance as well as Bajaj Finserv in yesterday's trading session. Wanted your view on Bajaj Finance, and particularly in this backdrop that today we have the pricing of the Bajaj Housing IPO, which appears it's coming at the upper end of the range. So your view on the stock?
Okay. Hi, Nigel.
Hi.
Good morning. So two things. First, as far as your Bajaj Finance is concerned, if you look at the charts from the last 3 years, the stock has not given any returns. The company has been growing. So the stock which used to command a price to book of say 9 times, now it has much more moderated. So there's a probability now that the stock has more or less bottomed out and it might give you some sort of returns from here on. That is one part. The second is the Bajaj Housing Finance, the issue of which has come, actually is a wholly owned subsidiary of Bajaj Finance. And once that stocks gets listed, I think it is going to have some rub-off effect on Bajaj Finance as well. As far as the valuations of your Bajaj Housing Finance are concerned, I think we need to look at two factors that post the, you can say, the merger of HDFC Limited with HDFC Bank. So we don't have any large your housing finance company in the listed space except LIC Housing Finance, which is considered more like a PSU. So that actually places Bajaj Housing Finance in a very, very sweet spot where you don't have any much competitors as far as the listed space goes. Now the stock is at the upper end of the price band, which I would say is not cheap, but given the way the company has, you can say, shown growth in the past, the way their, you can say, various return ratios are currently and they are poised to improve in future, I think the stock has got the reasonable probability to make good money. However, one will have to be patient because, as I said, the price to book of Bajaj Housing Finance is not weak, and their dependence on your leased property model that seems to be, you can say, slightly higher in comparison to most of the other places, and the pure home loans, they are roughly around 57%. So overall, I would say good, but it's not something which is going to give you very, very sharp returns immediately.
Okay, that's Bajaj Housing Finance. Amnish, great to have you on the show today. You know, the other stock that's going to be in focus, of course, is Hindustan Aeronautics, right? Because yesterday, again, we get to know about this big, large order supplying engines for the Su-30 planes. I think the value is 26,000 crores. So it's a large order. Orders are coming through. But the question always is whether the pace of execution is going to match the kind of price rise we've already seen on the stock. What's your sense on HAL?
You see, you rightly said that for many of these PSUs, which includes HAL, the orders have been coming in. And the coming of orders should not be a big surprise because we are significantly short of aircrafts when it comes to, you can say, our defense requirements. And we also need to, as a country, refurbish lot of the, you can say, the old planes. But having said that, the key here will be execution, that how fast they can execute, whether it is your Tejas aircrafts they're manufacturing, or whether these are engines. So having said that, I would say that there could be, you can say, some variation here or there. In the long term, yes, these kinds of orders give you visibility, but at the same time, the stock has run up very sharply, and at the current prices, I think there is no significant upside, at least in the near term.
Any thoughts? You heard Mr. Bhatia there. Is it going to hurt sentiment till we actually see something come through?
Prashant, as Mr. Bhatia said, you see, there is no problem with any small company listed. The only issue seems to be the kind of subscriptions we are getting in some of these companies, 500 times, 1,000 times, and the kind of expectations which are built into it. So that seems to be, you can say, leaving some sort of a gap over there. Okay, so it is not the question of big or small. I think if there is some froth which is being created in any section of the market where there's a potential that the investors tomorrow may lose some money, and it might create some sort of an uncertainty or some pushback for the investors. Because if we can recall, maybe say 20-30 years back, every time market used to peak with the IPO market, And it was more like it was a given thing that when people will lose money in IPOs or otherwise they will not come to market for 2-3 years. So given the way the markets have panned out, the SME IPOs have panned out, I think it's time to be cautious, and it's better that some more checks and balances are there, because it has the potential to actually disturb the entire market momentum over the medium term.
We are also looking at Keynes. I don't know, do you have this stock under coverage?
No, we don't have.
Okay, but any broad thought? I mean, the news on Keynes, of course, is that they'll be setting up this big semiconductor facility in Gujarat. It's assembly as well as testing and marketing. And this is a very hot space in the market, right? I mean, anything to do with the semiconductor supply chain. If not Keynes, any other thoughts, any other stocks that you're looking at around it?
You see, EMS is a space we are actually looking at very closely. And if you look at the various companies which are listed in this space, I think Keynes has got a definite advantage over others, because this company has actually started setting up the capacities and has got the definitive plans to do so. So given the way the focus is there on, you can say, semiconductor manufacturing, which is related to your electronics and all that, I think Keynes seems to be very well placed to ride the entire journey. I think the company had also raised funds to do the entire capex, and over the next 2 to 3 years, we believe that the growth in Keynes will be, you can say, quite strong.
Okay. Amnish, thank you for that.